Hey, everybody. Steve here. We're live. Woo, woohoo.
Success.
Hey. How about that?
It's the little things.
It is. It is the little things. How's everybody doing today? How you doing, Chris?
I'm good, man. Good. Nice warm evening here in the UK, So yeah, not too bad. Things haven't changed too much. They haven't got any better, but they haven't got any worse either. And that's always something to kind of appreciate.
Yeah. It's always better when you have a nice status quo. It might not be perfect. You might not be where you want to be, but you're not getting any lower. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm not getting any lower. So it's been kind of a slow last couple weeks for nerd stuff. Other than the Superman versus Fantastic Four debate and whether or not they're flops and how well they're doing and stuff. Other than that, it's been kind of slow. There's been some news trickling out, and that's what we're here to talk about today. We're talking about some of the stuff that we can, the nerd stuff. Talking nerd. It's what we do here at the Nerd Way, and I drag people like Chris along to talk about it. So let's get into it.
Why not?
Let's take a look at something here. First bit of nerd stuff. 5 reasons why the MCU and DC superhero movies will no longer dominate the box office. This is a couple weeks old, but I think it's worth talking about.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and see what their 5 reasons are. Audience fatigue has reached critical mass. Well, I think, at least in my opinion, it's when they say audience fatigue, I don't think we're talking superhero fatigue so much as we are poor writing fatigue and crappy character fatigue. That'd be my estimation. What do you think?
Yeah, there's going to be. Saying 5 reasons, but ultimately, it only comes down to one. Really, you can maybe spin that out to different iterations of that one thing, but it's not. It's a bad movie fatigue. Okay, there is no issue with comic book movies still, or superhero films, however you want to word it. It's with bad movies. It's with bad characters. It's with bad writing. So I'm intrigued to see how this list kind of goes on.
Yeah,
audience fatigue is something that people throw around, and I don't really think they understand kind of what they're talking about. Jake, how you doing, man?
Nope. Sorry, not on.
Hell yeah!
How you doing, man? Good to see you here. So yeah, if a superhero movie comes out, I'm going to watch it because I love superheroes. Well, let me amend that. If it looks like it's going to be a good superhero movie,
yeah.
If they give me something like the Marvels, I'm absolutely not going to go even anywhere near the theater.
I think there was certainly a fatigue with the Marvels. Maybe they're a bit right with that, I suppose. But again, if the Marvels was a good film, then people would want to watch it, wouldn't they?
And you could use this argument with just about anything coming out these days, with all the reboots and remakes and sequels coming out. I think it's just lack of creativity fatigue people are having. Do we really need to see a 10th Jurassic Park movie? We're just going to rehash. Someone's going to go on the island.
If it was good, yeah. We have the multiverse kind of theory. I'm sure there is a universe out there where there have been 10 Jurassic Park films, and they've all been good, even if they do include kind of the other Pedro Pascal, kind of Chris Pratt. But it comes back to that one point, doesn't it?
Yeah.
People would want to watch more Jurassic Park movies if they were good.
Now, I didn't see this newest Jurassic Park in the theater.
No, mate. I'm not interested.
I'll actually wait till it comes out on streaming. If it shows up on streaming somewhere, I'll absolutely watch it. Only because, I like Scarlett Johansson.
Fair enough.
She's a fine actress. Next up, international markets no longer guarantee profit. I know I've heard China isn't as quick to check out the Marvel movies anymore. So, and I honestly I don't blame them. Superheroes being a more Western culture type thing, even more an American thing. Not that there aren't other countries creating their own superheroes, but the United States kind of took that ball and ran with it hard, thanks to Marvel and DC.
I think the problem is with this kind of list. I mean, it's like I said kind of a few seconds ago, it's going to keep going back to the same thing. International markets no longer guarantee profit. You're not going to make profit on shit.
True.
And we're going to keep kind of. I get what they're trying to do, probably be edgy and try and make it everybody else's fault apart from the studios.
Yeah.
We're going to keep swinging this ball around kind of constantly. It just, the way to guarantee profit is to listen to what your fans want.
Yes.
I'll try and kind of reword my counter argument for the next kind of 4 points, because I suspect I know which way it's going to go. But, stop making excuses for shitty product, and, the media, kind of whatever website this was from, sorry, I didn't catch it. Stop making excuses. Stop making these lists about why, nobody went to see the Marvels. We know why they didn't go to see the Marvels, because it was a shit film. Why didn't they go to see Captain America Brave New World? We know why. Because it was a shit film. Because it had shit characters and bad writing.
Yeah, there is definitely a thing in Hollywood now. I mean, it's been around since 2016 with the Ghostbusters reboot. If something doesn't work, it's got to be the fans' fault.
Yeah.
And at first, it was just like swinging a sledgehammer. It says whenever something didn't work, it's the fans' fault. It's the fans' fault. But they kind of got a little. They started to finesse it, so make it sound less bad, like this list. Like we're going to give you 5 reasons why superhero movies aren't doing well. But in the end of the day, it's probably because the fans didn't like it, and it's their fault. Nothing to do with the studio.
That'll probably be reason number 1, the fans.
Next up, streaming competition has changed viewing habits. And like I just said with the Jurassic Park, you hear a lot of people saying, "Nah, I'm not going to go see it in the theater. I'll just wait till it comes out on streaming."
True.
And shoot, where was I going with this thought? I don't know. I just back in the old days, I say the old days, like the back in the 1900s, the 80s and the 90s, when the only way you could see a movie was either go to the movie or wait for the VHS or DVD release. Now they did have HBO and Cinemax, but there weren't that many cable channels out there. So, it was watch the movie, wait for the release. Yeah. Now you got watch the movie, wait for the DVD, wait for it on streaming. There are other ways that you can watch movies that I do not condone. So don't pile on YouTube. I'm not telling people to go watch movies on the high seas.
Thunderbolts is a great example, I suppose. That's on Disney Plus August 27th, I believe. So I will probably watch that. I still haven't seen Brave New World. I probably won't watch Brave New World unless there's some kind of other angle to it, like doing it for a stream or something. But that being said, it all comes back again to kind of, my original kind of argument that this has got nothing to do with anything else other than decent content creation. And if Disney hadn't been running such a bad couple of kind of, had a bad history over the last year with their TV series, with their movies, people would be more confident to go watch Thunderbolts at the cinema, watch, Fantastic Four lost to Superman. I don't know if it's just, a war of attrition, but the reason is because, people aren't fed up with superhero films. They're fed up with Disney's bullshit.
Yeah.
So why go and spend, like we've said before, about kind of how much it costs to go to the cinema? Why, for the cost of what, 30, 40, 50, 60 quid, 70 quid, depending on your family, if you buy food,
Mm-hmm.
the luxury seats scam, all this bullshit, when you could just pay a tenner and, watch Brave New World when it came out in February and just be, just find out, actually, yes, I was right. It was a shit film.
Yeah, I love going to the theater and watching movies. I mean, there's something about going to the theater and watching a movie, but if theaters would close down and they would just start doing it like at home streaming, video, I think within the first 2 or 3 years, everyone would kind of get used to it, and that's just the way it would be, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. I'd get a chance to just sit there in my own house, in my comfy chair.
Well, look at what JWC says.
Yes,
Hi,
yes. I was getting to these guys. I was waiting for us to have a little break. I have a weak bladder and often need to piss mid-film while streaming. I can piss as much as I want and not miss any of the movie. Absolutely.
I mean, you want to make sure you want to be able to pause Brave New World and make sure you absorb every second of it. But exactly, why would you want to go and waste all that money for smelly, dirty cinemas with staff that are kind of overworked, when you could just watch it from the comfort of your own house?
Jake says here, back in 2018, he's in Turkey. I had to watch the first Black Panther movie there. The theater was packed, even though Black Panther was a new character in the MCU. Yeah. The first time I saw Black Panther in the theater, the place was packed. Packed.
Black Panther was it was a good film. It was a good film, in my opinion.
It was fair, but that's for another day. Jake says, fast forward to today, even the more recognized characters like Fantastic Four can't put butts on seats here in the U.S., let alone worldwide. That's true, and I think it's because of all the poor movies that came out before. People are just fed up, and they don't want to watch movies anymore because they're afraid, like you said, 20, 30, 40 bucks plus food to go watch a movie. If you go spend that kind of money, you're going to want to watch something good. You're not going to want to watch crap, and Marvel has done nothing but give us crap for the last couple of years. So we say it's the fan, we say people are saying it's the fans' fault. I guess if you look at it, yes, it's the fans' fault. We don't want to see crappy movies.
No.
So we're not going to go.
Yeah.
JWC, the Fantastic Four have never been done justice in a movie, though. People have low expectations and lower interest in them. True. I mean, I'm a Fantastic Four fan. I'm a comic book fan first, and I have plenty of Fantastic Four comics in my long boxes. So I enjoyed the first go round of the Fantastic Four, the 2005. I didn't think that was a bad movie. The Fan Four Stick movie, I didn't watch that at all. That just looked garbage. This has probably been the best Fantastic Four movie of the bunch, and that's with a bar that's not very high. It didn't have a high bar to jump. So if they would actually do movies right these days, we wouldn't have a problem putting out the money. But with streaming, you don't have to put out that money. You can just go ahead, sit back, wait for it to come out, and just enjoy it in your own home. Like you said, just you throw a 10 spot on Disney Plus, and there you go. You got whatever movie you need.
I mean, if they didn't stream the film, then like you look at Brave New World as an example. If Disney didn't put that on Disney Plus and they tried to play hardball, like, oh, if you want to see this, you can. We're going to go back to the good old days of only in cinemas. I think the response would be kind of worse because at least you can get some view time that you can pretend and massage the figures around. If they don't stream these films, nobody's going to watch them.
Yeah. He asked, I hear guys gay now. What say you? He's not gay. You watch the movie. He is not gay. I guarantee you that.
He looked gay from the trailer.
Well, the trailer was very misleading, but and what people were saying in the interviews where Johnny's a more sensitive fella. He still likes the ladies. He may not be as much of a hound dog as he was in the 2005 movie, but he was still he still liked the ladies. So that was misrepresented. Let's go down this list, see what we got. Quality writing trumps brand recognition.
We're so close. We're so close to the right answer. We're so close to it. We can do this. And they're right.
Yeah. If movies, this takes us back to the original point with the fan frustration and stuff, the apathy. You don't write a good movie, we're not going to go watch it. So absolutely, it doesn't matter what superhero they throw out. Batman, Superman, Fantastic Four, the X-Men. If you have crappy writing, nobody's going to go see it. It's like it's like a comic book. You can have a comic book with the best art and the best artists on it, but if you're reading through it and the dialogue is just crap, I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to continue to read this comic book for very long, no matter how great the pictures are.
Well, point in question as well. I mean, I don't know if this will move on to their next point, but it started off as one of these rumors that these sketchy X accounts put out that, what's her name? The woman that has no kids but wants you to, kind of mutilate yours, Tatiana Masley or whatever. It's gaining traction now that She-Hulk could be back in kind of the next kind of one or two kind of Avengers films. Yeah, people don't want it. If they wanted it, they would have watched She-Hulk. They would have petitioned. Where is the She-Hulk, Deadpool, and Wolverine cut? But they didn't because it was shit. And as that part plays, I think where I was reading, scroll down now, but they're saying that Disney don't listen. So Disney won't get profit at the box office. It's all comes back to the same thing about making films that people want to see. And this at least they're getting warmer now with this point.
Yeah. She-Hulk is a perfect example. Is she a great character? No, she's just a derivative of the Hulk.
But she could have been a decent character that people wanted to watch. That you could have even threw like a muscle mommy kind of thing there, and you would have had men kind of wanted to watch for varying reasons.
Exactly.
And that would have been fine too.
And
but no.
Her comics were fine. But when the writers of the show have said that that their main target was just to troll the fanboys and just piss off fans, and then you get mad because no one's watching the show, you only have yourself to blame.
Yeah.
So
but don't worry, there's lots of these media sites to run interference for you to obfuscate and and try and kind of make it any other reason other than your company's fault.
Exactly.
Jake's knocked it on the head already. I think we're going to say this kind of like over and over.
Yeah, I don't believe in superhero fatigue. It's Hollywood fatigue when people like Mark Hamill or RTD are constantly throwing tantrum at the Orange Man and make it political. It's a turn off for the audience. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And it's frustrating when they go, okay, now we need to make a movie that's just going to be crap because we want to, own the chuds.
Well, even RTD's walking away now, isn't he? What was the quote? It's something along the lines of, it's not one of his Doctor Who isn't one of his favorite projects now, or he knows he won't be remembered for it, or something like that. I was like, well, no shit, and it's all your fault. Imagine if they wanted to do a TV movie now.
We're gonna touch on him, and not in a bad way, later.
Touch him or touch around him.
But moving on, established characters versus fresh takes,
aka making them gay and black and turning Iron Fist to a woman, as they've done in Eyes of Wakanda, which I haven't watched it. Again, just what little birdies are telling me.
Yeah, I've not watched Eyes of Wakanda. I refuse.
Am I fucking gonna watch that? But one of the things coming out of it, surprise, surprise, Iron Fist is a Asian girl now.
Well, unfortunately, at the end of the Iron Fist show on Netflix, he ended up giving up his power to the Asian girl. So, I mean, that was terrible.
There's a reason why I didn't really watch Iron Fist on Netflix all the way through. There seemed to be some very shaky ground with some of the series,
Yeah, I was hoping it would be better, but I think that was the most woke, if that's a term I can use right now. If people aren't getting tired of that term. Yeah, but established characters versus fresh takes. I want to see Captain America. I don't want to see Captain Falcon.
Correct.
I don't want to see, Iceman if he's going to be playing for the Rainbow team anymore, like they have him in the comic books. 50, 60 years he was straight, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, oh wait, now I like guys. It was bad in the comic books, and it seems that Marvel and DC have a terrible, terrible habit of taking everything that's bad in the comic books and dragging it over into the movies.
Yeah.
And leaving all the good stuff on the cutting room floor if it was ever even filmed at all.
Yeah. You look at it, say, Captain America is that kind of perfect example, wasn't it? That you kind of talked about kind of a little bit ago. Nobody wants to go see Anthony Mackie play Captain America. I'm sorry. I'm sure that hurts his feelings. He seems to get a little bit kind of emotional about this kind of stuff, but nobody wants to see it. And, Feige was so close to it, but then again, he was so close, but then veered off. And he said something along the lines of a while back of Brave New World didn't do very well because it was Anthony Mackie's, Captain African American's first outing, as if that made a difference. It's like, that just makes me, they're going to do another film with Captain African American. You can see that coming. There's going to be a second, well, they can call it Captain America 5 or 6, but it'll just be, they would probably do an RTD and call it Captain America 2. Braver, newer, worlder. And it's, you're going to have the same result.
Well, I don't see them getting one out before Secret Wars, so we might have dodged a bullet and only have to deal with one Captain Falcon movie if they do what you think they're going to do.
But if that's kind of Feige's mindset, though, that it's not because I get it. Okay, you guys don't want to see this iteration of Captain America. I'm going to think about it. It's like no, it's because it's the first outing. Not many people came out for the first Iron Man film or the first Spider-Man film or the first Batman film. They needed some time to warm up.
Yeah, but yeah, just give us the characters that we've come to know and love from the comics. Don't try to, give us some fresh take. Don't try to make, whatever the modern audience might be wanting.
Indeed.
Let us have our Batman and Captain America the way they're supposed to be. The new box office reality.
Oh, what? Please do tell. What is the new box office reality?
I think this is pretty much just reiterates 1 through 4, and it's people want good writing, people want good characters, people don't want to spend a lot of money for crappy movies. They'd rather wait for the for it to come out on streaming. That's the new box office reality. That's what people are thinking, and I don't blame them. I don't want to watch a bad movie. I don't want to see crappy characters. I don't want to see bad writing. I mean, I wrote 4 books because of how bad the writing started getting in comic books, and it pissed me off. So I said, fine, I'll do it myself. I started writing good stuff.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to have more of, because the big boys they just can't cut it anymore.
No, until Hollywood learns that it's fan service. It doesn't have to be complete fan service. It doesn't have to be, word for word, from comic to screen. But give us, what we want. Don't give us what you think we need. That hasn't worked. And I don't think it's ever going to work.
Never ever.
I mean, I feed my daughter the foods she needs because I'm a good dad. But I never, that doesn't translate over to movies. That doesn't translate to, at least for us. Hollywood shouldn't be saying, listen, I know you want a donut, but here's some broccoli.
Here's some raw human excrement.
No, just give me the donut. So yeah, people are tired of whatever, this is with Hollywood.
Just give us decent films.
Exactly. So, speaking of Mr. Russell T. Davies, we have him saying Doctor Who will not define his legacy. In the end, my heart will always be with the things that I own. Well, RTD, if you wouldn't have gone and pissed away any of the goodwill you had from the first time you were with Doctor Who, maybe your legacy would have been with Doctor Who. You could have added it to it. But instead, you get what you get now with him coming back. And instead of making Doctor Who, he makes
Doctor Pooh.
Queer Eye for the time traveler guy.
This should be really studied once we've had enough time to reflect on this kind of stuff. What RTD did with Doctor Who should be the perfect kind of example of how you don't do things.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot more to it. I don't think we'll ever get to the answers, but who the BBC was allowing this, what was the rationale behind it? It should be something that's studied.
Mm-hmm. Jake says, "R.I.P. Doctor Who is and always will be his like." Yep, he's got that going for him. So that's what should be on his tombstone.
Yeah.
He goes on. I'm not going to show the whole article. It's on Deadline. If you guys want to go read it, you can find it. But basically, he just lists all the shows that he's already done. His I can't even remember the shows he's done himself. But those are his shows that he finds that are going to be his legacy, and they're all part of the alphabet mob.
Yeah.
They're all part of that deal, and that's fine. If you want to write shows for that particular audience, do so. Don't come over to Doctor Who, where 99.9% of the fans just want a good sci-fi action adventure story with a crazy guy from Gallifrey who's just going out trying to save planets and universes. Don't make it a yes, we're going to go save the universe, but first, here's all the reasons why you should follow the rainbow flag.
Such a cope, isn't it?
It is.
Such a cope from him because he knows he's seething. So at least that's something that we can take away from this, good.
Yeah, because
and I think this kind of cements the thought process that even if we do get more Who, it won't be from him, which could ultimately only be a good thing. But it's just good to know that he's kind of letting it out in little bits and pieces that we got to him. It may not be a massive kind of chunk in his armor, but a little pinprick, a little, there's blood coming out, a tiny amount, but he's bleeding. Good.
He's like a snowman that's melting, because at first when
he looks
right before Doctor Who went off the air this time, people kept asking, well, is there going to be, a third, fourth, fifth series? And he kept going, well, we're working on it. We're writing it. It's going to happen. And then when it then when it went off the air, but a couple weeks later, he's like, well, maybe we're not going to be doing anything. I'm going to quit my position at Doctor Who magazine and just kind of go off and do other things. And now it's like, well, Doctor Who's not going to be my legacy. So he just keeps down to the point, in another year, he's going like, Doctor Who, never heard of it.
Good, because he doesn't deserve Doctor Who to be part of his legacy anymore. And I know there's a lot of kind of diehard fans that didn't really like his original iteration of Doctor Who. And look, that's fine. There's something for everyone. You can like what you like and stuff. But if he had left it where it was and didn't give in, he couldn't help himself. Yes, in 5 years' time, we'd be saying, yeah, wow, look at RTD's kind of legacy. He's done all this kind of queer stuff, but look at Doctor Who. That was really good, wasn't it? And you're like, yeah, do you know what? He has done a lot of queer stuff, but Doctor Who is really good, or was, except for
and
those years.
I can separate him from Doctor Who. Watch his first stuff, with Eccleston and Tennant and stuff, and think that's fine. Doctor Who. It's good. I can watch it. I enjoy it. But anything after Capaldi, it just went right off the rails.
Makes you wonder, really, we know there's a lot of backstage issues from what Eccleston told us, but what decisions did he really make? I mean, is this maybe something that just the right team was together and he just the stars aligned, because you look at what he pooped out over the last kind of year, 2 years, and you think, can't be the same guy. He couldn't have changed that much in the X years. And you kind of make you think, well, maybe originally when Series 1, the Eccleston kind of Series 1 came out, like we've said before, there were more people saying no. Maybe it wasn't just saying no, it was kind of directing in the direction it needed to go from all sides, and he felt pressure to do it because, he didn't want to be called out for being difficult to work with, whatever.
Yeah, well,
and he got his blank check. He got his blank check with Series 1, and he's like, right, now I'm going to show you all. I'm going to show all of you, and he didn't.
Yeah, you've said a time or two where his first go around, there was probably someone at the BBC who kind of put a nice tight leash on him and made sure he went the right way. But now BBC is completely different.
Because there were probably people at the BBC that wanted Doctor Who to do well and were kind of lavishing at the thought of bringing it back. And in its newest iteration, it was people lavishing at how gay they could make it.
Wonderful. And Jake says here, this is the same moron who said we can't portray people with disabilities as villains, which is why he had to go make a. Oh crap!
Wheels. That's what I
Yeah.
call it.
No. Oh crap! Made the Daleks. I can't believe my mind's not working right now. I'm gonna look something. I feel like such a tourist right now.
It's using RTD. Whenever you start thinking about RTD, kind of your brain immediately wants to expel all information.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like again. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like a tourist.
While we're waiting, if you haven't liked the stream already, please make sure you do. That'd be
Davros.
really nice.
Yes.
Davros, yeah.
Davros.
Sorry, I apologize. I thought you were going a bit deeper.
No, Davros, because they're before the 60th. I think it was before or after the 60th anniversary. He had Davros, but he wasn't in a wheelchair because
Children in Need special, wasn't it?
That's bad.
Special.
So stupid.
Yes.
But hey, Doctor Who now is in our rearview mirror.
Yep, and he's seething. So, there's 2 victories you can take from that. Good.
Seething. Hopefully, we're entering the new wilderness era. And, well, I would say, maybe good things will happen, but Big Finish is still out there, and they're creating.
Big Finish does need to finish.
Big Finish was good. I enjoyed Big Finish, but they got the same disease that the show got, and it's like they're terminal now. You can't listen to anything.
It's just a shame. I don't ever think we'll get someone that just comes in and goes, right, nah, you all fuck off. This is what we're doing now. Eccleston's coming back as like an older war doctory kind of thing for whatever. This is what we're going to do. We're going to kick off, going to have a Christmas special, and then we're going to kick off into some decent Who. This is the person playing it, and it'll be someone good. I don't know. I can't see us getting that for a very long time.
No.
The TV kind of production overall just seems so warped and bent, if you will, still by these ideologies, that even if it is kind of decaying and it is kind of slowing down and it is being pushed back, it's going to take decades, I think, for us to truly get back to just being able to make TV that people want to watch.
Yeah.
And there is no real reason for it to never not be that way, because of how technology has advanced. As you said before, if you want to make some television for gay people, then do that. And, you can stick it on BBC or whatever. We've got, iPlayer now. People don't really view it as BBC One or BBC Two or whatever. They just view it all just now as iPlayer, because that's how people, watch it now. There is you don't have to have one or the other. You can have both. But people wanted to, they couldn't think of their own characters, which I think you said before again, and this is how we end up.
All right, well, speaking of things that are changing, RTD did his thing. Star Trek, another show that has been decimated by stupidity. Star Trek's best canceled series may be resurrected in the worst way possible.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
It's I don't try to hide my love for Star Trek Enterprise. I love it. I think it's, I'd put it above DS9, but I know Chris would probably try to punch me.
No, I think, again, if that's what kind of people like, then we shouldn't have been in the position to challenge that.
Good.
But it makes it a lot easier to agree when you're looking at all that history of work, was good.
Mm-hmm. And Enterprise was the last best Trek we got before J.J. Abrams and Alex Kurtzman came in and decimated it.
Yeah.
Now they want to take Archer and they want to have a show revolving around him where he's not on a starship, but he's the president of the United Federation of Planets.
I mean, you know, they always want to make that character a fat black woman, don't they, normally, if memory serves? I could be pulling out my ass, because, again, I haven't watched any of this shit. But, I mean, at least they were kind of on the right direction with a white male. But do we really need a TV series, you know, watching the president of the Federation? I don't know. No, we don't need that, do we?
I mean, it talks about, you know, this show could be like a combination of Andor and The West Wing, if anyone knows what The West Wing is.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed The West Wing, even though it still leaned hard left a lot of times. The writing was excellent, and I was able to overlook a bunch of that stuff. Andor was just crap. That's just garbage fan fiction that fake Star Wars fans keep saying they like. But I don't want Star Trek The West Wing. I don't need it. I don't need to see Archer as a president. If you want to do something like this, I would say, being a writer, make a series of books. You can have a whole series of books, you know, that go through all this, and I think it would be fantastic. I think it would be a great read.
Because my theory would be what they wanted to write was The West Wing, but it probably wasn't very good. So they thought to themselves, what if we slap a brand on this that isn't going to be, you know, that we don't have to be worried about being taken too seriously about? And then someone's probably piped up, you know, very much like with the Joker films that aren't actually Joker films. You know, they're just some fucking bullshit film that someone from Sony said, well, what if we make it, you know, just we slap a DC stick on it? People went, excellent. And I think this could be a similar thing here. You know, these people wanted to write The West Wing, but they were probably told, bit gay.
Well,
why don't you make it Star Trek?
That was always my contention for Andor. I think Andor was originally another sci-fi show that Tony Gilroy wanted to produce, but no one wanted it. And they took it to Kathleen Kennedy, and he said, "Hey, I got this idea." And she goes, "Well, let's make it
That's amazing.
Let's make it Star Wars."
Yeah. Nah, he probably didn't. He probably wasn't even that honest. He said, you know, what if we make this Star Wars? And you know, she was like, yeah, brilliant idea.
Outcast Comics, good to see you, bud.
Shout out, man. Hope you're doing well.
Glad to see you here. Looking forward to your comic. I keep checking your updates. So looking forward to when you get that comic book out. Yeah, I'm fine with Star Trek Enterprise being done. They actually did a series of books after it was all done, which kind of told the ongoing story, you know, afterwards. Which I read the first. I started reading the first one. I set it down, and then I lost the book. So I have to find. So I gotta rebuy the book and go back and reread it. But
thing is that once again, this can all be done. Yeah, this can be, you know, probably not in this kind of, you know, West Wing fan fiction bullshit they want to do. That needs to go in the bin. But if you want to bring Archer back and you want him to be a high level kind of Federation kind of, you know, diplomat or Starfleet officer or whatever, you could do all that. You could have like an old man Archer kind of run where, you know, he needs to come back for one last mission, you know, that only he could do, or, you know, or something like that. I mean, all this stuff isn't out of reach. You could do it, but they don't want to do that. They don't want to make an interesting story because people could, you know, it could be a great jumping off point for people to go back to Enterprise. And you think, well, fuck, you know, I need to know what happened now, don't I? So let's get on Disney, on Paramount Plus, and they could run a promotion for new, all this stuff. It seems absolutely alien to these idiots that run these companies, but it just seems so fucking obvious to the fans. And I'm not even fucking a fan of Enterprise, and I could already think of a way to make it work.
Oh yeah,
it's not fucking hard if you engage your brain and you have a little bit of kind of knowledge about what you're talking about. Or maybe that I am perhaps a fucking super genius and I just haven't realized it yet. I refuse to believe that.
I think
from alone.
I think when it comes to whoever's writing for these shows and movies, if you're outside of that bubble, yes, you probably are a super genius compared to them. Because they have proven time and time again, they don't know squat.
Because they're not fans.
They're not fans.
They'll say they are, and we've seen it before, haven't we? They'll say they are, but
they're not fans, and they're not good writers. Or else, if they weren't fans, they would at least be able to write a competent story. And we're not getting that either.
No.
Speaking of competent stories and things I hope that are competent, but I'm not sure. Dave Bautista has been cast as the Kurgan in the Highlander reboot, starring Henry Cavill and Russell Crowe. I'm not a huge fan of reboots, but
because that's the one thing Hollywood could stop doing, isn't it? Straight away is stop the reboots, but that's the only thing that's going to make any chance of making money.
Yeah, I know people like reboots. It's safe and it's familiar. But until they stop making the reboots and just start making new stuff and getting people off that reboot sugar high, then things will change.
But to do that, you need a mass exodus of all the shit writers that are currently under your employ.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen. Now, I love this movie, The Highlander. And I've always been of the mind that if they do ever make a reboot, this movie needs to be rebooted.
Yeah,
because it has great potential. It's fine the way it is now, but I think they can make it better. I think they could tweak a few things and put out a movie that just makes it just a tiny bit better.
They're not on necessarily a bad track at the moment. The bits seem to be falling into place. I don't have an issue with Blue Teaster kind of getting a role. As long as he doesn't wear those kind of gay pearl necklaces that he has been recently. And maybe he needs to bulk up. The last time we saw him, with that photo, he looked ill. So he needs to eat a couple of burgers and, hit the gym a little bit.
He looked like a little old grandma.
He looked gaunt. Yeah, he did not look good. And again, it's probably one of these idiots that has taken on, like when Downey Jr. said he was vegan for a year, and I'm sure he still is. Mm-hmm. But, he looked fucking ill. But that aside, if he comes back as, with a little bit of muscle on him, no issue. You got Henry Cavill, Russell Crowe fighting around the world for you South Park fans. This could be okay.
Henry Cavill seems, with every interview he's done and everything, he sounds like a true nerd.
But he also, how do you put this? The mainstream kind of companies don't seem to want to put him in anything, that they consider good, but we consider shit. So maybe we should look at this as reverse, that actually, if he's in something, there's a degree of authenticity to it.
Well,
I should be okay.
I didn't read any of the Witcher books, and I tried playing one of the Witcher games. I just couldn't get into it. But that seemed to have a lot of fans, and when he was in the show, people seemed to enjoy it. More or less.
When he was in it. That's the key thing. And the problem with the Witcher TV show is that he wasn't in his own show enough.
Yeah. That's what I was hearing. They were trying to rewrite it so he was more of a supporting cast member than actually the main character, which is again why he probably decided to.
Well,
take off.
What series is it that Hemsworth has been drawn in now? Is it the third or is it the fourth? I can't remember, and that's taken a suspiciously long time to come out as well, hasn't it? But that series of The Witcher with Hemsworth, and I know it's a different Hemsworth brother, but that is going to be the Ghostbusters 2016 of like the Witcher TV series, because you're going to have he's going to be an idiot surrounded by women.
Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping against all hope that this Highlander movie turns out to be good and not just, another piece of crap, because they did this with The Crow. Was it last year? Another great movie that didn't need a remake. But they decided to make this Crow movie, this new one, that had absolutely nothing to do with the character. It could have been connected to the old movie. They didn't want that happening. And they just it was a crap movie with just the title and a character that had a passing resemblance to what the character's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So don't pull a Crow. Make the Highlander good.
Yeah.
Hollywood, we're watching you.
This is MGM, innit, or Amazon now, you may as well call it. And they've got a bit of a rocky, it's either going to be, kind of reach a Fallout, depending again on your perspective on Fallout, or it's going to be Rings of Power. There's no middle ground, unfortunately. So we're going to find out one way or the other, I suppose.
So I have done something that I think we'll have some fun with.
Hell yeah.
Anybody who's here knows I'm a big comic book geek. I love superheroes. I write superhero novels. So what do I think about a lot during the day? Superpowers. And the people who might have superpowers, and what superpowers what people might have. So what I did is I made a tier list.
Nice.
And see if I can make this any bigger. That'll work. That'll be okay.
Yeah, man, that'll play.
On my website, StephenHudler.com, I have a 100 common and uncommon superpowers list. That if you're a writer, if you're looking for some inspiration, you can come. It's free. You take a look at the 100 superpowers, and you can let your imagination run wild. I decided to take the first 20 and create a tier list to see what powers are good and what powers you know what, I really don't want that power. So, Chris, it's up to you and me.
Yeah, man.
To figure this out. And the first one we're going to look at is pyrokinesis. That's controlling and generating fire with your mind. Like a Pyro from the X-Men or Johnny Storm, one of those guys.
I mean, off the top of my head, I would probably put that in fantastic, because it's a handy thing to have. But if you find yourself in a pool of water, or you're up against, and let's call him Iceman, I don't know, you may not necessarily have the outcome you're looking for. So it's good, it's fine. It's a bit niche, isn't it?
You know what? I can see that. I can see going with putting that in fantastic.
It's definitely not pathetic, is it? But
it's not pathetic. And to be honest, I don't know if any of these will be in pathetic, but you have to put that in there.
Yeah, you never know. There could be a stinker here.
Could be a stinker in here somewhere. Speaking of Iceman, the next power we got up is ice manipulation.
And I think that's the same, isn't it? In my opinion, anyway. They kind of, they're yin and yang.
Or you could be a hit at parties. Hey, can I cool your drink down for you?
But the same you could say with fire, you can make your own barbecue company, couldn't you?
True.
So,
all right. Ice manipulation. Fantastic. Next up, weather control. Would you like to control the weather? I know I'm looking out my window and I'm hearing thunder, so I would love to control the weather at this point to make sure, we don't get hit by lightning and I lose the internet. But there have been plenty of times where I'd be like, man, I wish it was warmer, or maybe just turn the heat down just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Storm as an example. I think it's a pretty radical thing to have, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure in the UK we'd have somebody with that power stationed at the coast and make it unpassable for boat people to float their way on. I'd say it's incredible. I think it's a step up from the other two, I think, but it's not quite, not quite there.
I could see weather being incredible.
Because in theory, you could do any of the two things you could, the fire and the ice. You could, in theory, do that with that one power. So I think that should make it a step above those two.
True. All right, next we got intangibility, being able to just pass through walls like Kitty Pryde. I like it, although it always weirds me out. I mean, if you can pass through things, how is it you can walk on a floor and not fall through it? You'd think if you have this power, you just fall.
It's plot armor, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just have to go with it, don't you? I mean, again, I'd kind of put it in fantastic, because that's great, but you couldn't rob a bank with it, could you? Because you could get into the bank vault, but you wouldn't be able to take anything out, because obviously the other things, unless you're gonna taking it further and further and saying, well, you can also make other things kind of have the same effect. Which then you start kind of changing kind of really what you're talking about. But I mean, I'd put it in fantastic. It's nifty, but
yeah, I'm going to overrule you and go uncanny.
Okay.
Just for the fact that I'm still not sold on the you wouldn't just fall through the earth thing.
Yeah.
All right, next we got telekinesis.
Okay.
Being able to move stuff with your mind. My goodness, how many times have I sat on the couch and my wife has put the remote control?
I just wanted to
without my reach, and I just want to think. I don't want to get up and walk 2 feet. I wish I could just think it over here.
Use the force, Steve.
Exactly. I think telekinesis would be an awesome power to have.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think maybe this could be the first spectacular one for me, because there's a lot of stuff as a hero or villain that you can do with that, and just being able to throw a bit of fire or a bit of ice or make it rain isn't really going to be able to counter just throwing physics out the window.
Yeah,
because you could move yourself faster, surely. There's just so much around that. And, in theory, it's got the number of all those other abilities, because you can manipulate kind of whatever it is, to that scenario. So, yeah, I would say spectacular. I think we're getting there.
I think so. I think you're right. Plus, who hasn't sat in a traffic jam and wish they could just move the cars in front of them out of the way?
Yeah.
Or pick my own car up and just sail it over top. That would be perfect.
Or the granny in front of you when you're shopping. Yeah, she's taking too long to put her fucking grocery through, so you just launch her into aisle 10.
See, when my mom was alive, she would do that. She'd walk to the grocery store, and if you were taking your sweet old time in the aisle, she'd shoulder
Trying to
check.
move. Yeah, we ain't got all day. I respect that. We haven't got all day.
I had to throw myself in front of many a shopper just to save them from my mom's wrath. All right, next up, super strength.
Okay.
If I had my if I had my way, there are two powers on this list that I would absolutely love to have. Super strength is one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just who. I mean, it's the staple for any superhero. You have to have some kind of strength above a normal man.
Very true. Yeah.
I mean, there are very few superheroes that are just regular guys, and if they are, they're always, it's Iron Man, it's Hawkeye, it's.
But Iron Man, by kind of technological wizardry, kind of has super strength to a certain degree, doesn't he? So yeah, it all comes back to that, doesn't it? Like needing that element.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say it's incredible. It's because it's not as good as being able to move things with your mind, in my opinion, because you've already got super strength if you can move things with your mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because if I might not be able to lift up a car myself, but I can just think about it. So,
and exactly, you don't need to be in the proximity of the thing that you want to move. You just need to be able to see it.
Incredible. I like that. All right, next up, teleportation. Do you want to just zip from here to there?
I think teleportation is definitely better than what we've got in Uncanny. Because in theory, you could save a civilian. Just being able to walk through things, wouldn't help you. You can't save people in a hospital if you can just walk through walls because you can't bring the people out with you.
Right.
But you can with teleporting. You can zip into a bank vault and nick money. You can zip into a hospital and save someone.
Yep.
So I don't think. But then again, I wouldn't necessarily. I don't know. Because I would say fantastic, but there's something stopping me from saying it's anything better than that. Because if you teleport into something you can't get out of, or something, I don't know. You teleport yourself into a trap, you're still dead, aren't you? If you teleport yourself into a pit and don't realize it, you're still dead.
Yeah. I guess it depends on who the writer is and how you want to do your thing, because you could say if I don't know where I'm going, I don't want to teleport because I might teleport into a mountain or something.
Exactly.
And I'm dead. But you could easily write around that and have your power if you teleport into something that's not where you're enclosed, you just kind of automatically bounce back. Yeah, I'd say this is fantastic. Much better than intangibility. All right, next up, flight.
Well, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Who hasn't wanted to, be Iron Man? Because obviously, by flight could be obtained in different ways. I mean, I'd put it incredible. Because, like I said, being able to move things with your mind is so strong that in theory you could fly. I mean, the speed of which, okay, that could be up for debate. But, you could levitate using objects. And you could maybe utilize that to fly. So I think, flying's awesome. But by itself isn't necessarily kind of spectacular. So, I mean, I would say it's incredible.
Incredible.
Because you can dodge everything underneath it, like your fire and all that kind of stuff. But you couldn't deal with a Professor X, could you?
No.
Because inevitably he'd still swat you out of the sky.
Yeah, he could grab you out of the sky and bring you down quick.
Or he'll grab you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, incredible. Next, we have invisibility.
Yeah, Again, it's pretty nifty, isn't it?
It's an interesting power, but I don't know. I don't know how, unless you're a spy, I don't know how you would use it. I mean, it doesn't seem to have any offensive capability.
Well, it does, because it gets you in striking range of the person that you want to off, doesn't it? So being, having the ability to move things with your mind won't really matter if someone's able to stealth up behind you and kind of shank you.
Oh, okay.
It's all very well being able to create fire or ice, but if you can't see where the person is, not too much use. And if you're able to fly, again, what exactly is the point if you can't see what you're flying at? So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say it's spectacular. Maybe I'd maybe say it's incredible.
Okay.
Because it's more about, it's primarily defensive in nature, but you can utilize it. Like how many times has Black Widow, I'm sure, used some kind of camo field.
Yeah. Okay. You sold me.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, telepathy. Do you want to read out of the other people's minds? Unless you can turn, unless it's one of those powers you can turn off and on, and you only, it's only, you can direct it at certain people, I think it'd be fine. If it's one of those things where your mind's open all the time and you hear voices coming from everywhere, it would be the worst power in the world.
So does that make it as good as kind of we would initially think? And just because you can read someone's mind doesn't necessarily mean that you can change it. So,
you might read someone's mind you thought was your friend and find out.
Yeah, there is that.
Find out they don't like you that much, and now you're screwed because the guy.
I suppose you could learn things that you didn't know before. Absolutely. But if you had that power alone, what good would that do versus someone that's super strong? Because you know what they're going to do, obviously. They're going to try and hit you with something or themselves. So, it's a bit of a tough one because it's pretty cool, but is it just cool on the surface of it? And I'm wondering maybe if it's just fantastic because you've got to take that negative with you as well, that it would potentially going to drive you absolutely mad unless you were wearing a massive helmet around you all the time.
Yeah, I think we should put this in fantastic.
I mean, it sounds good on paper, doesn't it?
It's a good power in theory, and provided it's one that you can just shut off and on and just direct it, you're fine. But again, if your head is always open, then you're going to go mad within a week.
Exactly.
All right, shape-shifting. You want to shape-shift into something, you want to, into a different person, maybe a chair, maybe a bird or an animal.
Shape-shifting is pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, I would put that up there with incredible, to be honest, because being able to shape-shift to anything and be able to take the form of that thing is pretty, a lot more useful than just being able to blast fire or ice or read people's minds. I wouldn't necessarily say it's spectacular though, so I'd maybe say incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where you could get into any place because you could look like anybody.
Exactly.
Or you could survive out in the wilderness. If a bear comes to attack you, you can turn into a bird and fly away.
Yeah.
So,
or you could turn into a white liberal woman and the bear will become your friend.
True. Or the bear would probably run away because he'd see you and like, oh no, I ain't none of that.
Yeah, I'm not listening to all this.
So where are we putting this again? Incredible?
I'd say incredible.
it worked for Mystique. She had a lot of good stuff going with her on,
Yeah.
more or less. All right, how about time manipulation? Stopping time, speeding up, slowing it
Yeah,
down.
that's got to be spectacular, isn't it?
That would definitely have helped me out a lot.
I think it would help everybody out, wouldn't it? But in the realm of kind of comics and that kind of stuff, superheroes and stuff, none of those powers matter if your opponent can kind of almost, it's almost better than telepathy because you can see how something plays out and then you can rewind time and counter that one thing, can't you?
Mhm.
It's the or just pause and just observe the battlefield. What's going on or whatever. So it doesn't matter what you can do. Can you change the weather? Well, that doesn't matter if time is paused and none of your stuff's having effect.
Yeah.
Because you'd also have to make the assumption that you can move while time is paused.
Oh yeah,
That's just a game changer, isn't it? Because again, very much like invisibility, it's all very well you being able to do kind of all these amazing feats, but if you're stun locked and someone just come right behind you and end it, then it doesn't really mean anything, does it? So I think that would be spectacular for me.
Yeah, it'd be a lousy power if you pause time and you were also paused.
Exactly, but then you'd end the world, wouldn't you? Because then you wouldn't be able to kind of resume time.
That'd be it. Yeah, we'll put this in spectacular because it's a pretty cool power.
Mm.
All right, next up, mind control. This is my second favorite power.
Mm.
Imagine all I could get done. I could just, all the times you go to the DMV or something, you can just say, just give me my license. And like, here's your license.
Yes, right? It's pretty up there, isn't it? Because again, a lot of these things are nullified by someone being able to change your mind, for example. So I would say spectacular.
I think so. I mean,
yeah.
You can. I mean, as a hero, you could absolutely use this to do a lot of good, and as a villain, you could do a lot of harm with this power.
Yeah.
The Purple Man from Marvel on Jessica Jones, he did a lot of evil with mind control.
He still does, doesn't he, David Tennant?
I don't know how much mind control he has. I think he thinks he has a lot of
vulnerable.
He thinks he has a lot of mind control. Yeah, we're going to slide this bad boy up into a spectacular. Because with mind control, it doesn't matter how strong you are. If I can control your mind, tell you not to hit me, you're not hitting me. All right, healing factor. I think this is a good power to have, especially as a superhero, because you get beat up a lot. And the quicker you can heal yourself up, the quicker you can get back into the fight.
I mean, but again, is this another one that kind of sounds good on paper? Just by itself, it's not particularly very good, is it?
Yeah, by itself, it's not much. I mean, yeah, you can get hurt and heal.
Because, like I said, if you come up against someone that can control the elements, fire, ice, or whatever, and your only power is that you heal quicker, well, that doesn't matter if they do so much damage to you that you're dead.
Yeah.
Unless, you're going down the Jack Harkness constant point in time, but I think that's not quite what we're talking about here. If we're talking about kind of Wolverine's kind of healing factor, I don't know. I mean, it's not very good by itself. Whereas you look at what's spectacular, incredible. I'd maybe say it's uncanny, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because just that, if that's what we're going by, that this hero has this one thing, it's not going to get you very far versus someone that can melt you or turn you to ash or change your mind into not doing the thing that you were going to do anyway.
Okay.
has to be. It has to be in conjunction with something, doesn't it? Just by itself is not very good.
Yeah, like I said, Wolverine. I mean, he's got the healing factor, which is fine, but he also has the claws. He also has the strength,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
he has a lot of really good offensive weapons to go along with his healing factor, so he can stay in the fight longer. All right, how about super speed? I like super speed.
Super speed's pretty awesome, isn't it? The Flash.
Flash, zip around.
I would say incredible. It's because I think it counters almost everything in fantastic, but the higher you go, it becomes a bit more tricky, doesn't it? If you're super fast, that's brilliant. But if someone can fly, then okay, you may be able to evade them, but you can't really do a lot either. I'd say incredible for super speed.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Like telekinesis, time manipulation, mind control. That's definitely going to counter.
They're going to KO that character straight away, aren't they?
And I know super speed. It's you see the Flash. He goes so fast. It's almost like he can stop time.
Yeah.
So that's almost a side effect of his power.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see that going into incredible. All right, X-ray vision.
Yeah, I mean, again, okay.
As a superpower,
as an add-on power, then fine, it bulks a hero up or a villain up, doesn't it? But by itself, I mean, it would be good if your job was a security guard, I suppose.
Yeah,
I don't think X-ray vision is all that by itself.
Yeah, if we're looking at X-ray vision as just a power in itself, I would say this might be the first pathetic.
I think I agree. Yeah, because everything would kind of great. Okay, so you can see my bones, but that doesn't matter when I kind of vaporize you, does it?
No, no. You might be able to see someone hiding behind the wall, but if you don't have any kind of other offensive capabilities, it doesn't matter. They're going to come get you. So yeah, I think we're going to put X-ray vision in pathetic. Not that it's bad, not that
just by itself, it just isn't very good, is it? But it is better. It's worse than healing factor to have by itself.
I mean, you're just some creepy guy that can look through walls.
Indeed, yeah, indeed.
All right, next, energy projection. Whether it's coming at your eyes or you have, coming at your hips, energy projection.
I'd say fantastic. Because it's kind of fire is energy, isn't it? To a certain degree, it's not too much anything surely that you could do with fire or ice. Energy is just another different offshoot from that, is it not?
Yeah. It's
you could make a shield out of fire if you wanted. You can make a shield out of ice. It's just whatever is strong or weak to that one element, I suppose, isn't it? So I'd kind of say it would have to fall into fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
And that's why we put the other two.
It's not as good. I mean, if we're looking at the other powers, super speed, invisibility. If you got those, energy projection doesn't really work because you can't hit them because they're either going to be too fast or you can't see them. And weather control, if you try to shoot me with something, I can just kick up a big gust of wind and blow you away.
Yeah.
So
it should operate as I said on the same principles as kind of generating fire, generating ice. It's it's definitely not one of the worst things to have, is it? I mean, it's better to have that on its own than X-ray vision or just a healing factor. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. How about super agility? Think of Spider-Man getting shot at by 100 bullets and he just flips and bounces and nothing touches him.
But by itself, though,
I would say it's uncanny. It's a good power to have. You can jump around and stuff, but unless you're a trained fighter, you can, super agility is really not going to do much unless.
Yeah, because I think ultimately, though, you look at fantastic, anything there would, like an area of effect attack or defense would just, there's no agility that's going to affect a fireball or something, So yeah, I think uncanny, to be honest.
Yeah. Again, none of these superpowers are bad, but it's just if you just had this one superpower, good.
Yeah.
How about elasticity, like Mr. Fantastic? Get your mind out of the gutters, people.
But I would say it's fantastic. There's a pun there, if you will, but it's good. It's fine. It's better than the things in Uncanny, maybe equal to the things in Fantastic. But again, once you go up from Incredible onwards, there's a lot of things that kind of take you down a peg pretty quickly. Like it doesn't matter how much you can stretch if someone has stopped time or you know what I'm getting at.
I'd probably say Uncanny because
yeah. I'm trying to be more generous, but yeah, Uncanny works as well. To be honest,
you look at Mr. Fantastic, and while he's stretchy, his main, I don't know if it's superpower, is his mind.
Yeah.
And if you go to other characters that have this same power, you go over to DC, like Plastic Man or Elongated Man. That's all they got. I mean, it's just they're stretchy, and you don't see them getting their own comic book. They're part of a group. You don't see. Now I think Plastic Man did have his own comic book for a while, but he was also kind of funny. So they played a lot, on that. But yeah, as it goes, elasticity, Uncanny. You can reach across the room. You can reach
across. Shout out to Drew in the chat.
Yay!
Get a slight spelling issue. Hope you're doing well, man.
That's right. Bunch of nerds talking superpowers. It's great.
And Drew would love to be in there. He knows he would.
That is not my superpower. I'll ban you. I'll bring the ban hammer down and it'd just be Chris will be a memory.
You'd still be gay though.
Yeah, well, my wife has other things to say about that. All right, last up we have density control. Think the Vision. He can dial it all up to all the way up to, it'd be like hitting a mountain down to basically being intangible, where you can pass through things.
It's pretty good. It's definitely better than X-ray vision. That's for sure. It's definitely better than having a healing factor. Is it better than the things in Fantastic? Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe Incredible. Maybe. I think, because everything that you can do, you could probably trump the things beneath it, but it's Incredible and up. Maybe Fantastic and Incredible. I'm not sure because it sounds sounds great as a defensive ability, doesn't it? But again, if time has been stopped or whatever, you're not doing anything, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Maybe I'm being too generous with Incredible, but
yeah, I was thinking more Fantastic because you can get parts of Incredible. If you crank your density all the way up and you hit something, it's going to hurt a lot. Like if you had super strength, but it's not something that you can stay with all the time. So
I agree.
I think maybe Fantastic might be the best place for this. Drew coming back, Gabe being a superpower that fits right in with modern Marvel and DC. With the way they've taken a lot of the old characters and just decided to switch them over from one team to the Rainbow team. Yeah.
Indeed.
So yeah, it looks like we've had this nice little bell curve thing here where, it's you got a lot of incredible and fantastic powers, and then there's a couple, stinkers, and there's a couple.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one, isn't there? Really, I mean, like I said, just by itself, isn't it? By itself isn't going to get you very far.
No.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of scientific thought put into that, to be honest.
It did. Lots of scientific thought. That's the definitive superpowers list, everybody. Science, again.
That is it. That is, we've decided now. I mean, what could be a good suggestion for another stream, Steve, is doing that as a bracket fight.
That would be a good one.
Expanding it a bit more if you wanted.
Oh yeah. That's definitely. I was thinking about doing that, but I thought I haven't done a tier list in a while, so let's do a tier list.
Maybe Drew can put his money where his mouth is and come on and help us with the decisions.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love to see that. Make it a 3-way fight to see who's gonna win. All right. Well, that is all I had for today.
Oh yeah.
We can there's one other thing I want to bring up. Showtime.
Nice.
I already told you guys I write books. I write good books. I write the best books. I use the best words. Only the best. And, you can see here I got my first book, Deadlock. I got Wrath and Blaze, Shattered, which is the third book in my series, and EVOREALM, Fallout, which is the second book in the series. If you want to support an indie writer and help him make his dream come true, head on over to Amazon. The link is in the description below. I also have a Patreon, and I like to think I have 2 Patreon supporters.
Hell yeah!
They're both in the free category, but hey, they've decided to put their little stamp on and say, you know what, we like this guy.
Yeah,
we're gonna follow this guy, and I thank you very much for joining the community.
Hell yeah!
Appreciate it. I'll be doing this. The more people jump on, the longer this is going to go.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
It's about creating a community. It's about being a part of something. And that's what I'm trying to foster here. I'm trying to, with my website, I'm, trying to bring in writers and other creative people that just want to come in and get inspired with ideas and things. And with my books, I'm trying to, give people an escape to get away from the world for a while and dive into a really cool story.
Yeah.
And let's have a community. Let's bring all the nerds together. That's why I got the little globe thing there in my Nerdway symbol. We're a community. We're global. Bring everybody in.
We are going to have to gatekeep, though, because if anything the last 10 years has shown us is, unfortunately, there does need to be a screening process.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna gatekeep the heck out of this thing.
You say you say a couple of stupid things, you're out.
All right, go over and check out Neon TARDIS.
Why not?
Chris, do you got anything coming up? Is there anything you would like to let us know?
Not really. Look, just kind of usual stuff. neontardis.com. Ironically, I haven't got this stream kind of listed up there as an appearance this week, but it was all kind of a bit short notice, so it's not my fault. I did everything right, legally, electronically, and my website still gets fucked. neontardis.com. Check out the Patreon, £1 a month. I've got my first member, which is absolutely fucking awesome. Other than that, streaming Sunday, we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff.
Super.
Don't ask me what, because I can't remember without looking at the Google Doc, but I have things, and that's always a lot of fun. Steve, Drew, Bizarro Culture, kind of Studio South in spirit. He's had a bit of a rebrand while he's kind of been away, kind of thinking things up. So yeah, that's always fun. And next week, like I said, check out the website, because I always try and keep things up to date anyway. Yeah, lovely. Great stream as always. It's always fun to talk about this stuff and do kind of zany things like the tier list and stuff. I think we should look at doing that as some kind of bracket fight. Like, what superpower would be the most powerful?
Yeah.
If we could only have one, they can, the Highlander of superpower kind of thing. So
there can
I look forward to that. That Steve can arrange.
There be only one. Yes, I can work that up. You want to, again? Here's my site, StephenHeller.com. Come by, check it out. You won't. I got some short stories on there too. So if you guys just want to take a couple minutes and see how my mind works when it comes to stories, they're there. Everything's free over there, because I'm here for you guys. Kind of like that superpowers list. I got a whole list of 100 superpowers. Although I do have a second list, but that's going to cost you. The first 100, the first 100's free. After that, you can
exactly
pony it up. And here's where you'll find that second list, and here's where you can come to join the community. Patreon, again, free tier. If you just want to say, "Hey, I'm here for you. I support you," and $2 a month is that's it's not going to hurt you.
Helps keep the light on. Yeah,
keep the lights on. Help me get out of my 9-to-5 job and become a full-time writer. I'm working on another book, but between work and other things, it's hard to find time to sit down and just write. So, and here, check out the EVOREALM bookstore, where you'll find all my books, more shilling. So, Chris, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
It's always fun, man. Always fun.
Thank everybody who showed up in the chat.
Yeah, lovely people in the chat.
Had a lot of people come in. JCW Reviews, Jake's, Mono Drew, Outcast Comics. Some guy named Neon TARDIS jumped in there and saying very bad things about me, but
all true.
But yeah, I want to thank everyone for showing up. Catch me Sunday when I go over to his YouTube channel, and we talk more nerd stuff. And hopefully, I'm trying to make this a once a week thing. Hopefully Thursdays. I want to try to make it every Thursday, but fingers crossed we can keep this thing on Thursdays. Other than that, that's all I got.